Hey guys, it's Melanie. I am joined by my pug assistants today, so if you hear any tippity taps or arguments in the background, they might be fighting over their lizard stuffy, so my apologies. However, let's get back into doing some candle reviews. We are going to get started today with a candle that is actually quote unquote a leftover from last year, if you will. There are a bunch of candles that I purchased last year that I really never got around to even starting to burn for review purposes. So I decided to kind of put it out to you guys to see if you still wanted to see reviews of those particular scents. And a lot of you said yes. And I also, for me personally, I think there is some value in reviewing these fragrances because I have noticed that a lot of home fragrance companies are re-releasing a lot of the same scents. And it's kind of a good point of reference for me so that if, you know, something gets re-released, if they tweak the formula, I sort of have a reference point in terms of what I smelled the first time versus what I am smelling in the re-release. And some of these are still gonna be available at this point. So if you're interested, you can still pick them up. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and still review them here, and we're gonna get started today with a Homeworx scent. Now, I will put the disclaimer out here, at least for the first couple months of the new year, that Homeworx did experience quite a number of shipping issues towards the start of the holiday season last year. It was a huge debacle, and quite frankly, it was super frustrating to watch. It was super frustrating to deal with, and I know it upset a lot of people to the point where they are no longer purchasing from Homeworx.Shop. And I still want to reiterate that I completely understand anyone's decision to not purchase from .shop. You can still find your Homeworx candles at QVC. You can find them at Ulta, although the selection at Ulta is fairly limited. You can find the candles at Kohl's. They're popping up at Nordstrom Rack. In store, you can find them at HomeGoods. You can find them at TJ Maxx and Marshall's. So, you know, there's several other retailers to get your Homeworx candles from. You don't have to purchase them from Homeworx.Shop. I will say I'm going to go ahead and keep purchasing from Homeworx.Shop. I am doing that for a couple of reasons. One, the shipping is still the cheapest there, especially if there's a good sale. And two, I want to be able to report back on my experience of ordering and then how long it takes me to get the candles. And that's just to let you guys know, you know, if there have been improvements made. So if you do want to go back, that you can do that. But, you know, I have not been shy about the fact that, like, I never even received one of my holiday orders. Now, I was refunded. I do believe that Homeworx refunded everybody who was interested in a refund or who did not receive their candles. Quite frankly, I would have rather had my candles, but that being said, as long as I got a refund, that I feel like that's kind of all that I can ask for in that situation. So anyway, as of right now, I will still put the disclaimer out there that I am not sure if the Homeworx shipping issues have been completely resolved. I will have to let you guys know when I start ordering candles again, and right now I'm taking just a couple weeks off from purchasing candles to just kind of burn through a little bit more of what I have, and also just wait for some new spring releases, because believe it or not, even though we are still very much in winter, I just have a feeling that most of the candle companies are going to start releasing spring scents here pretty quickly. So, all right, you guys. So what candle do we have here for today? We are talking about a Homeworx 3-wick, and this is something that they started doing last year, kind of towards like the end of the year, where they were releasing a lot more of these 3-wick Homeworx candles that basically look just like a slightly smaller version of their traditional 4-wick jars that they have had since the inception of Homeworx. This particular collection at first, honestly, when I saw it, I didn't love it. I do love Harry's hobnail jars. However, the black hobnail just did not speak to me. This particular style screams much more modern. Also very dark. Funny for me to say that because it is the rainiest day ever today, and it's pretty dark here. I actually have lamps on to try to like improve the lighting a little bit. But yeah, just not my vibe, I guess I should say. My decor tastes lean towards the grandma style. So this is just a little bit not to my liking, if you will. I don't hate it, it's just not my style. However, I have to admit, when I got this in person, I liked it a lot better when I was looking at it in person versus online. And I do believe that some of these have been spotted at the TJ Maxx, Marshall's, Home Goods stores. So keep an eye out, you might be able to find these. So these 3-wick jars are just slightly smaller than the 4-wick. However, I have found that the ones that I have tried actually have a very similar strength and throw to the 4-wicks. And I was really expecting to have significantly less strength and throw, but that's not really the case. And this one right here, Homeworx, for all of its faults, like occasionally you do find like a true gem. And this one is so strong that like it fills the bulk of the downstairs of my house, which has been tough for Homeworx candles over the course of the past year because the strength and throw have really been one of the biggest complaints of a lot of the people, including mine, who have been with Homeworx for a number of years. Those of us that started with Harry on QVC back in 2018 when he debuted there, really became accustomed to super highly scented candles that would absolutely fill, you know, most homes. Unless you're living in like, you know, a 10,000 square foot mansion. Like your average home had a really good experience with the 3-wick candles at that point. Now the original 3-wicks were the same size as what the 4-wicks are now. They just had 3 wicks. And then a couple years in, Harry decided to change it to 4 wicks. But this one here, I know we're not talking about strength and throw quite yet, but I have found it to be very, very strong. And it also reminds me of another scent. So let's go through the fragrance notes here, and then I'll tell you what I smell, and then we'll talk about strength and throw. Okay, so the fragrance notes here are sparkling Prosecco, crisp apple, pineapple, and raspberry puree. So very much reminiscent of a fun, effervescent New Year's type scent, right? But I feel like this smells like another Homeworx candle, and I cannot for the life of me, you guys, remember the name of it. I think it came out last summer or the summer before last. It was from, it's like a beach collection, I think. Yep, nope, can't remember. If I do recall, I will put it in the description box right below this video. I will also obviously put a link to where you can purchase this if you wanted it. But this also just, it smells a lot like the Capri Blue Volcano scent. I don't think it is exactly Capri Blue Volcano, but I really don't, I don't know. This smells so much like citrus to me. I don't get any apple. I don't get any pineapple, and I am very sensitive to pineapple. I love to eat pineapple. However, I absolutely 9 times out of 10 hate a lot of like home fragrance pineapple scents because I just think they smell cloying. I think they smell too artificial. And by the way, this includes Homeworx candles that contain pineapple in them. I'm just not a big pineapple fragrance person. I don't smell pineapple in this, and I have a bloodhound nose for a few different types of notes. Anything minty, anything eucalyptus, and anything pineapple. Like, if it's in there, my nose will find it. I do not smell it. Now, raspberry, I do think I get a touch of like a fruity raspberry note. And maybe a little bit of effervescence. This smells a little bit more bubbly than Capri Blue Volcano does. However, very similar. So to me, the base of this mostly smells citrus. And I don't know if, I did have the Rona back in September, so my nose could have changed just a little bit. There's certainly a couple of scents that I tried this past holiday season that I could no longer enjoy at all. So I do, despite my smell was never really affected by the Rona, which is so interesting. But anyway, this just smells like it has a solid, really wonderful citrus base. Here's what I'm gonna say about this one. If you like Capri Blue Volcano, I think you're really gonna like this one. This is a very fresh, very clean scent. It is a wonderful scent to ring in the new year. It's a great scent to sort of help you get out of the holiday, gourmand, heavy, woody, tree type scents, those smoky ember type scents. This is the complete opposite of all of that, right? It's refreshing, it smells clean. It's really a great, like, fresh start candle, if you will. Now, the strength and throw, you guys, on this one is amazing. And I have definitely been very honest about the fact that a lot of the fragrances last year were light, medium to medium at best in terms of strength and throw. So around like a 5 or a 6. Which is a huge demotion from where Homeworx used to be, which was usually in the range of like 8, 9, 10. So definitely a difference. This one, this 3-wick right here, gives me a strength of about a 7, 7.5. I won't call it an 8. It's definitely between like a 7 and a 7.5. But the throw of this one, you guys, it just travels throughout the entirety of the downstairs of my house. I've had a couple of other candles burning, and this one has kind of drowned them out. So the throw, I'm gonna give it like a solid 8, 8.5. It does also travel upstairs. I mean, I'm really hesitant to use the number 9 or 10 with Homeworx just because that really, I don't know. I feel like that would be tough to award that. But this one is really freaking close, you guys. I am shocked at how well this one is performing, and I am pleasantly surprised. I'm really enjoying this scent. It has been really enjoyable. Now, I am only about a third of the way through this candle at this point, and my hope is that it continues. I will obviously update you guys in the weekly home fragrance roundup here. But yeah, like it's done really well for me, and I really enjoy it, and I kind of want another one. You know, like the overall look and presentation of it is really not to my liking, but the fragrance itself is wonderful. This is definitely more than a room filler from Homeworx, and it's a really pleasant, I think, universally enjoyable scent. Although if you are looking at the fragrance notes and you're like, this is what I want to smell, the Prosecco, the apple, the pineapple, and the raspberry, I can't tell you that that's necessarily what you're gonna get. I mean, unless my nose is completely off, I think this just smells very similar to Capri Blue Volcano and then the other fragrance that Harry put out either this past summer or the summer before. I think it's a repackage, to be totally honest. So I don't hate it. In fact, I really quite like it. And if it was in a different jar, I think I would be much more apt to repurchase it like immediately. But the packaging it's throwing me off a little bit. So you guys, I'm gonna give this one 2 thumbs up. This was definitely one from last year, and it's probably one of the better performing ones. So let me know if you picked up Let's Toast. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And like I said, I will continue to purchase from Homeworx. I'm going to continue with their ambassador program, and I will let you guys know what my experience is when ordering, how long it takes to get my packages, just so you guys are aware if you're new here. I live in Oregon, so these candles are shipped out of New Jersey, and they usually hitch a ride on a donkey, which putters along the Oregon Trail. I'm hoping that the shipping can be just a little bit faster this year, if only so that I can partake in reviewing fragrances in a much more timely manner after they are released. But we'll see. We will see what Homeworx can do for me this year in terms of getting me products faster, getting everybody their products faster. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. There will be another candle review a little bit later on today, so please stay tuned for that. Let me know if you have any questions at all, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.